You wake up in the morning and your mouth feels like cotton. Maybe your joints ache a little more than they used to. You've been drinking water like the doctor told you, but something's off. You feel bloated, tired, or you're running to the bathroom all day. I see this in my practice all the time. Patients over 60, sometimes over 50, come in frustrated because they're doing everything right, but their body just doesn't seem to cooperate. And the biggest culprit? Plain water. Not water itself, but the way your body handles it after a certain age. Let me tell you a story about Margaret, who came to me 2 years ago. She was 73, sharp as a tack, but she said, "Doc, I'm drinking 8 glasses of water a day like you said, and I feel worse than when I wasn't drinking anything." That stopped me. We ran some tests, and what we found changed how I think about hydration for older adults forever. Because her body wasn't rejecting water, it was signaling that something deeper was going on. In this video, I'm going to show you the 5 signs that your body is struggling to use plain water after 60, and more importantly, what you should drink instead. This isn't about some fancy bottled water or expensive alternatives. It's about making a simple change that could transform your energy, your joints, and even your brain health. Stay with me. So let's talk about the first sign. Number 1, you drink water and you feel bloated or heavy, especially around your stomach. This is incredibly common. Patients tell me, "I have this water sloshing around in my belly. I feel full, but I'm still thirsty." That's a classic red flag. What's happening inside? When we age, our stomach acid production can decrease and our gut microbiome changes. Plain water, especially cold water, can actually dilute the stomach acid that's left, making digestion harder. You feel bloated because the water isn't being absorbed properly. It's just sitting there. But there's another layer. Your kidneys become less efficient at filtering fluids. After 60, kidney function naturally declines by about 1% per year. So if you're guzzling plain water, you might be overwhelming your kidneys, leading to bloating and electrolyte imbalance. The fix isn't to stop drinking, it's to add a pinch of something. But we'll get to that in a moment. Sign number 2, you drink water and you have to urinate frequently, sometimes every hour or even more, and it's clear. People think that's a sign of being well hydrated, but in reality, it means your body is quickly dumping the water without using it. It's not being retained where it's needed, in your cells, your joints, your skin. When you're younger, your body's natural antidiuretic hormone response helps you hold on to water. But with age, that system gets sluggish. Plain water, especially if it's low in minerals, passes right through you. You lose not just water, but also essential electrolytes like sodium and potassium. That's why you feel dizzy or lightheaded when you stand up too fast. I had a patient, Robert, 71, who was proud of how much water he drank. He said, "I go every hour, so I must be healthy." But his blood pressure was dropping. He was having muscle cramps at night, and his cognitive function was declining. We changed his hydration strategy, and within a week, his urgency decreased, and he felt more energetic. Now, sign number 3 is subtle but dangerous. Persistent dry mouth, even after drinking. This isn't just thirst. Dry mouth after hydration means your salivary glands aren't responding properly. Age-related changes in saliva composition and volume are common, but plain water alone can't stimulate the right reflex. You need a liquid that triggers the taste buds and the body's natural salivary response. Also, dry mouth can be a sign of electrolyte imbalance, specifically low sodium. And many older adults are on medications that further deplete sodium. So when you drink plain water, you're diluting the already low sodium, making the dry mouth worse. It's a vicious cycle. Sign number 4, you feel more tired after drinking water. This one surprises people. They think water gives energy, but if you're drinking plain water and you feel a slump, it's because your blood sugar isn't being regulated. When you drink water without any nutrients, your insulin sensitivity can be affected. For older adults with prediabetes or metabolic issues, plain water can actually cause a mild hypoglycemic response in some cases. I'm not saying water is bad. I'm saying your body needs something extra to maintain stable energy. Another factor, plain water doesn't provide the amino acids or electrolytes needed for mitochondrial function, the engines of your cells. So if you're already low on certain minerals, drinking plain water can make you feel more tired as your body works harder to absorb it. Finally, Sign number 5. Joint pain that doesn't improve with water intake. Joints are cushioned by synovial fluid, which contains hyaluronic acid and electrolytes. Plain water alone doesn't replenish that fluid effectively. I've had patients who drink gallons of water hoping to lubricate their knees, but they still have stiffness. That's because water needs to be paired with specific nutrients to be incorporated into the joint fluid. For example, collagen and certain minerals are critical. So if you're drinking water and your joints still ache, it's a sign your body needs something more. All right, so why is this happening? Let me explain the mechanism. After 60, your body's ability to absorb water changes on multiple levels. First, your stomach's pH becomes less acidic, about 30% decline in stomach acid production on average. That means plain water, which is neutral, can't be broken down as effectively. You need a slightly acidic environment to stimulate the release of enzymes and hormones that help with absorption. Second, your gut microbiome shifts with a decrease in beneficial bacteria that produce short-chain fatty acids needed for water transport across the gut wall. Third, your kidney nephrons gradually lose efficiency, so the water you drink isn't being filtered and reabsorbed properly. It's being sent out before your body can use it. And fourth, your cell membranes become less permeable due to age-related oxidative damage, so water molecules have a harder time entering cells. That's why you can be hydrated on paper, clear urine, enough volume, but still feel thirsty and fatigued. It's a cellular dehydration. Now the solution. What should you drink instead? This is where I've seen dramatic improvements in my patients. The key is to add 3 things to your water: a pinch of high-quality sea salt, a squeeze of fresh lemon or lime, and a small amount of a natural carbohydrate like honey or maple syrup. Just a teaspoon. Why? The salt provides sodium and trace minerals that help your body retain the water and distribute it to your cells. The lemon adds acidity and vitamin C, which aids in absorption and supports the gut. The small amount of natural sugar helps transport the water across the intestinal wall via the sodium-glucose cotransport system. This combination, often called a natural electrolyte drink, is what I recommend to almost all my patients over 60. You don't need expensive sports drinks. Just mix these 3 ingredients in a glass of room temperature water. I advise sipping it slowly, not chugging. For those with high blood pressure or heart failure, check with your doctor about the salt. But for most people, this small amount of sea salt is beneficial. And you know what else helps? One of my patients, Alice, 75, started using this drink and also began tracking her daily hydration with a simple habit tracker. She told me she wanted a way to remember to drink consistently. I mentioned that there's an app I use with my own patients. It's something that helps you log your water intake, your electrolytes, and your symptoms. I actually link it in the pinned comment below. You can check it out if you want a simple tool to stay on track. It's not a gimmick, it's just a daily reminder to do what's proven to work. But back to the drink. Alice said within 2 weeks, her dry mouth disappeared, her afternoon fatigue lifted, and she stopped feeling bloated. She even reported better sleep because she wasn't waking up to urinate as often. Let me give you more proof. There was a study published in the Journal of the American Medical Directors Association that looked at hydration in older adults. They found that over 30% of community-dwelling seniors had some form of electrolyte imbalance. And those who consumed plain water exclusively had higher rates of hyponatremia, low sodium, which can cause confusion, falls, and even hospitalization. The study concluded that for individuals over 60, plain water should not be the sole source of hydration. Foods like soups, broths, and water-rich vegetables are also important. But the most effective intervention was the addition of a balanced electrolyte solution. Now, I'm not saying to go buy a commercial product. My simple kitchen recipe works just as well, if not better, because you control the ingredients. Another patient story. George, a 68-year-old retired teacher, came in with complaints of lightheadedness and brain fog. He was drinking about 10 glasses of water a day. His blood pressure was low and his sodium was borderline. I convinced him to switch to my electrolyte drink. He used a pinch of Himalayan salt and a squeeze of lime, and within 3 days, his dizziness disappeared. He told me, "I thought I was drinking too much, but it was what I wasn't drinking that was the problem." His cognitive clarity improved so much that his wife called to thank me. That's the power of simple biochemistry. Now, I want to deepen this understanding. The second alternative to plain water is bone broth or vegetable broth. These are rich in collagen, glycine, and electrolytes like calcium and magnesium. They support joint health and gut repair. I recommend a warm cup of bone broth in the morning instead of coffee for some patients, especially those with joint pain. But if you're vegetarian, a good vegetable broth with added sea salt works too. Third, cucumber or melon-infused water. Cucumbers contain silica and antioxidants that help with hydration and reduce water retention. Fourth, herbal teas like chamomile or peppermint. They're hydrating and provide additional phytonutrients. But avoid caffeine if you're prone to dehydration. One thing I also want to expand on is the timing. Many older adults drink a large glass of water right before bed, then wake up several times. Instead, front load your hydration earlier in the day. Drink most of your fluids between breakfast and late afternoon. And always pair your water with food. Drinking on an empty stomach can cause a rapid drop in sodium levels. That's why my electrolyte drink is especially good. It provides a buffer. Let me give you 2 practical tips you can implement today. Tip 1. When you wake up, instead of drinking a big glass of cold water, drink a small glass of warm water with lemon and a pinch of salt. This helps kickstart your digestion and hydration without shocking your stomach. Tip 2. If you suffer from leg cramps at night, increase your potassium intake naturally. Add a small amount of coconut water, but watch the sugar, or eat a banana with your dinner. The combination of potassium and magnesium can dramatically reduce cramps. Closing this out, I want to return to Margaret, the patient I mentioned at the start. She was skeptical at first. She said, "Dr. Brooks, you mean I've been doing it wrong this whole time?" I told her, "No, you were doing the best you could with the information you had. Now we have better information." She made the switch to the lemon salt drink, and within a month, her bloating was gone. Her joint pain subsided, and she had more energy than she'd had in years. She's now an advocate for smart hydration in her retirement community. That's what I hope for you too. If you're nodding along, realizing that maybe your body has been giving you signs you didn't recognize, then I want you to try this simple change for the next week. Just 1 glass a day of warm water with a pinch of salt and a squeeze of lemon. Notice the difference. And if you want to track your progress and get more tips tailored to your age, I've left a link in the pinned comment below to the app I use with my patients. It's free, it's simple, and it can help you stay consistent. I truly believe that small adjustments like this can add years to your life and life to your years. If you found this video helpful, please subscribe. I share new research and practical health insights every week. And don't forget to check that pinned comment. Thank you for trusting me with your health. I'm Dr. Samuel Brooks, and I'll see you in the next video.